Hi, this is Abe Freetanzer from cinemadailyus.com. How are you, Ben?
I'm good, thanks, Abe. How are you?
Good. Thanks for speaking with me today.
Happy to.
So, how did you first hear about this project and what attracted you to it?
It came to me via my agent. The script came through, and my agent basically said, "You got to read this." So I did, and I was just blown away by the script. I mean, it's excellent writing from the get-go, but in terms of plot as well, there's so many twists and turns. I didn't see any of them coming, and having read a fair number of scripts over the years, having read a fair number of scripts over the years, I was quite taken aback, and it really made me want to be part of it.
That's great. And for a good portion of this film, you're seen rather than heard. Was that something that was appealing to you, or a difficult and challenging idea of conveying your character without getting a chance to really be heard?
I mean, I suppose that was a portion. I mean, it was what was interesting about that was thinking about what my character wanted to be conveyed without sound, what he wanted to be seen without giving too much away. So that was an interesting challenge for sure. And yeah, in many ways, it's made it very different to anything else I've done, completely different. So, which is always something I'm looking to do, is to explore different territories.
Absolutely. And my next question starts with, without giving too much away, so hopefully you'll have some answer, which is that your character certainly does not play as a nice guy. Do you think that he's a villain?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Your character doesn't really play as a nice guy. Do you think
Right.
that he's a villain or just more complicated than that?
I think it's difficult for me to call him a villain, because I think no matter who I play, I always try and work out their psyche and work out why they're doing what they're doing. And I don't think anyone does bad things for no reason. It doesn't mean that the bad things are excusable, but they are explainable. So for me, I mean, I haven't looked back and thought over it for a long time, since today, really. But I try to get behind Seb and get behind his logic, and he has a drive and a determination that definitely sees other people's well-being put to one side, and objectively, that's not okay. I don't think he's the sole villain of the piece. I think he does commit villainous acts and crimes, I suppose. It's hard for me to even say, but yeah, I suppose he does. Yes, he does. And but I think he's not the only one. I think there's quite a few people culpable in the story for what happens.
I like that. I think I agree. What was the experience of actually filming some of the more intimate scenes? Did you feel like your character does in the film, in a way of being watched by a lot of people?
Filming those scenes, I didn't feel watched by a lot of people, because I think most of them were shot from the other apartment. So it was odd in that way. Yeah, it felt like it was just me and whoever I was performing with. It was definitely odd and awkward filming those kinds of scenes, and I didn't relish being that guy. He's crosses the line in terms of using his power and abusing his power to get what he wants sexually. But yeah, it was a strange experience, really. And I suppose I was quite nervous about making a mistake, even though that would never be my intention. But I would never want to make someone feel uncomfortable, and I don't think I would. But I also think that people who cross the line sometimes might not have thought that they would have. But we had an intimacy coordinator, which took that out of the equation, and she was great, and basically discussed with both parties beforehand what they felt comfortable with and what the boundaries were. And once those were established, there was room to be able to explore and play within those boundaries, whilst making sure that everyone was comfortable.
That's great. And what can you say about your co-stars? You guys have a really good chance to interact very intimately and one-on-one with a few of them.
Yeah, we all got on great, really. I wish I filmed more with Justice, because he and I rarely film together. I think he's a great actor. I think everyone's a great actor in this film, and we had a good vibe on set. Good fun to be around these people. And I spent most of my time filming with Natasha, who plays Margot. And I think we developed quite an easy, natural rapport quite early on, which was great. I don't know if that's because she's Australian and I'm British, and maybe we were the two non-Americans. I don't know, but no, it was a thoroughly enjoyable experience.
That's great. And I know you have some really cool projects coming up. Is there anything you can share about them?
I can talk about. I just shot this TV miniseries called The Girl Before, which is it's going to be out on BBC at the end of this year, and it'll be on HBO Max early next year, I think. That's a psychological thriller, maybe. Yeah, so in a similar vein, but completely different to this. But that's something I'm very proud to have been a part of. So I'm looking forward to seeing how audiences react to that one too.
That's great. And I know that you said that you're always looking to try something new. Is there something in particular that you would love to do sometime in the near future, to try a different genre or something different?
What genres haven't I done? I've never done the horror genre. I tell you what I would love to do. I'm a massive fan of sci-fi. I always have been. And I suppose if you count the comic book world as an element of sci-fi there, for sure. But I would love to explore that more. But ultimately, it always comes down to the character can potentially explore. So I never really look in a genre-specific way,
Absolutely. Fair enough. Well, those are all the questions I have for now. I really appreciate you talking with me today, and best of luck in the future.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.